let's get started. Ah, what did I say this? Huh? What? Who's knocking the door? I wonder who it can be. Whatever, alright, let's go open it. Hello? 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 What? The audience? What are you guys talking about? Oh, personal project. Interesting. Well, he should have told me about this earlier. A lot earlier. Alright, whatever. I guess I'll help him. And to be fair, I am the one that like plays these games for him, so whatever. Okay, I guess I'll help him. Alright, well, hello there. My name's Tekka, and in collaboration with Marcy, I'll be delivering his personal project to you. So, me and him are going to talk about the characters in Forsaken. So, what Forsaken is about, the characters, and also maybe cover some unique character interactions and more, if we have time for it. Alright, I'll see you later. Alright, now that, now that we've moved to Google Slides, so what is Forsaken? So basically Forsaken is an asymmetrical horror game where we have a large group of survivors and a large group of killers. For the survivors, the objective is very simple. Survive until the timer reaches 0. For killers, they need to do the opposite and eliminate everyone until the timer reaches 0. And if the timer reaches 0, these guys lose and these guys win. So basically, um, also each character has like different abilities for the killers and for the survivors as well to help them either survive or to kill. Now we also have uh, now it was also based off of old Roblox myths as well. So like as you can see, this is a 1x and Shaletsky. Shaletsky used to be a former admin. He used to like do moderation for the game. He used to like host like bunch of events. He was really a notorious admin back then. And we have a result account 1x, who was like kind of like this troll account, which he used to like troll a bunch of people with on the Roblox forums. Because yes, back then Roblox did have forums. Think of it as something like I don't know, Snapchat or like Instagram or like any messaging app you can really think of. Yeah, and obvious, and like in this game, 1x is one of the killers, as you can see here, and in this game, Shaletsky is one of the survivors. So yeah, that is what Forsaken is about. Now that we have wrapped up this short intro, let's go ahead and get into the interesting part, which is the characters. Alright, so now let's go get into the interesting part, which is the characters of Forsaken. First of all, we're gonna start with the survivors, because they're the biggest group. So survivor character types include survivalists, sentinels, and supports. So for survivalists, they're usually the not so popular character group because of their selfish nature, because most of survivalists just are really good at surviving for themselves, but they yeah, they suck at teamwork, and teamwork is really important in this game. Now we also have sentinels. Sentinels are the most popular type of character for the survivor side. Now, these guys are actually so common, in fact, there's at least one or two sentinels in every single lobby, and I'm willing to bet my life on that fact. And this is partially due to the fact because these guys are oftentimes the flashy characters which gets all the cool edits made out of them, like, oh my god, look at this guy! Because they're the ones that can fight back against the killer. That's right, you can actually fight back against the killer in this game. You can basically stun them, which immobilizes them. So we have these two over here, which uses a melee weapons. This one uses a knife. This one uses a sword. You have someone who just says, weapons are for the weak, and just uses his bare hands to just punch away the killer and block the killer. And we also have this guy who is kind of smart, only kind of. You'll see why later, because he brought a gun along. And also, each of these survivors have a unique way of stunning the killer. Like, for example, this guy, he can just like pull out a sword and stun the killer. This guy, he needs to get a backstab. This guy, he needs to get a block. And this guy, he needs to flip his coin. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, he's a severe gambling addict, but we'll get into that later on. Now we have the supports. I see supports are the underrated group, in my opinion, which, in my opinion, is also partially due to the fact because they're the hardest to play. Unlike survivalists, who are at least good for surviving for themselves, even if they're not that good at teamwork, survi supports, they're not really good. They only have like either one or two way to get away from the killer, and if they use those abilities to get away from the killer, well, you better play your team where team is there to help you, or you better be good at the game, cause you're cooked otherwise. Anyways, there's different types of supports. There's passive supports and active supports. Passive supports, which are supports, which are these two, they basically like place down like contraptions and traps to slow down and disorient the killer. Now we have active supports. We have this pizza guy over here who can free up pizza, which heals people. I have zero clue why pizza heals people, but you know what? Let's just go along with it. We have this magical pumpkin guy who uses his staff and his magic to slow down the killer using his beam and to cast a shield which reduces damage. These two being the active supports. That was the type of survivors. Alright, now let's get into the killers of the game. The evil, scary monsters. Okay, I'm doing way too much. Anyways, first of all, we have the targeter. I see this guy sucks at killing multiple survivors at a time, and sucks at spreading out damage. That means because he's melee only, so you basically target the survivor until the end of the round, until you kill them. Also, a lot of people seem to get really mad about you targeting them, even though that's literally how you play this character. That was not relevant to the personal project, but I just wanted to rant about that, because yes. Anyways, the CQC Menace. Now, see this guy? There's one sentence that is best used to describe him. If you get within 10 feet if you get within 10 feet, run away, or you're cooked. That's it. Yeah, no, seriously, do not get close to this guy, or he will demolish you in 2 seconds. You will be put into one of those edits, and you will be called a quick drop. No, stay away from this guy. No, no. Anyways, Trapper. So basically, this guy, unlike all of the killer killers where I can just run in there and just swing away like a madman, like you have like internal rage issues, you can't do that with this type of killer. You gotta set down traps and you gotta be methodical. You gotta get in touch and with your inner zen. Uh, okay. So basically, trap the survivors, alright? Just trap them into small spaces, uh, cut off good parts of the map, and you're good to go. And now you have the rushdown slash movement type of killer. Now, basically, this guy is really good at moving around the map. He can teleport to different generators, and he can just like do like charge slash rush towards you, making him probably the best killer for movement and making survivors basically unable to run away from you if you use your abilities well. And now we have my favorite type of killer, the projectile demon. Basically, this guy, you use projectiles. Yeah, and these projectiles are incredibly good. They both serve different purposes. One is a small damage projectile which comes out fast and slows down the killer, the survivor, and the other one is mass infection. Basically, it does big damage. And if you pair these two together, they do lots of damage. They do big damage. They do like 63 or 73 damage, which basically the average survivor HP is 100. Yeah, that's basically like almost all of their HP gone. Yeah. Also, not to mention, this guy's projectiles has an incredibly low cooldown, so even if your aim sucks, well, it's fine because you can just spam the projectiles until you piss off the whole entire lobby. Now we have the Snowballer. Now this type of killer starts off like incredibly weak. When I mean incredibly weak, I mean like a baby that was born today. He basically can't do anything. But uh, the more the game goes on, the more stronger he gets, and he becomes a menace later on. Anyways, that is the evil, scary killers of Forsaken, which I will talk about later after I'm done talking about the specific survivors in more detail. Yeah, right, cool. Alright, so before getting to explaining who and what Noob does, I want to tell you about the general format which I'm going to do for the characters. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and explain what the character does in general, and like also some lore things about them. And then afterwards, I'm going to show you gameplay, so you have a visual example of what these characters can do and what their abilities do and like their playstyles and all of that. Alright, let's get into it. So first of all, who is Noob? So basically, Noob was a cheerful and outgoing Robloxian before being forsaken and before separating from Guest 666. Now you see Guest 666, you can see over here in the background of Noob's image. Um, they used to be close friends together, but after a while, Guest 666 got corrupted, and because of that, Noob and Guest 666 they parted ways. And now he's more of a quiet, reserved person, kind of just surviving, like being like kind of okay. Anyways, let's move on to in-game. So in-game, Noob is a survivalist. Noobs uses consumables to help him live. So these consumables being Bloxicola, Slight Skin Potion, and Ghost Burger. For Bloxicola, he can drink it to give himself a speed run for 10 seconds, allowing him to make some distance. For Slight Skin, he can drink this for shield. If once the Slight Skin Potion effects wear off, he can get himself speed 2 for 2 seconds, and also Ghost Burger, which he can take a bite out of, giving him invisibility 4 and undetectable. Invisibility 4, making him basically invisible or super translucent, depending on how you want to word it, and undetectable, making it so that the killer's ESP moves cannot uh, indicate where you are. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay example. Alright, so now we're in game. So as you can see, first ability is Bloxicola. It takes like 2 or 3 seconds to choke down, so it's not really worth doing it when you're near a killer because you will get punished. And also, you will get speed 1 for 10 seconds. Basically, speed basically just gives you speed, but there's also different levels to it. Like with every single like status effect in the game, with the exception of fire. So basically, speed 1 is a little bit of a speed boost, speed 2 is an incredibly big speed boost, and speed 3 is just like super duper fast. Like, you cannot be caught if you have speed 3. Like, not at all. Anyways, we have another ability, which is Ghost Burger. As you can see, I'm now invisible and also undetectable. So basically, undetectable allows me to hide away from the killers and makes them unable to see me with their ESP moves. basically killers have their ESP moves with the exception of Cool Kid, and basically they can see where all of the survivors are, so unless they're undetectable. And invisibility 4 is just pretty good for hiding, makes me like incredibly translucent. Alright, so yeah, that's about it. Also, survivalist gameplay is really boring. It's basically just like this, where you just run around the map and basically doing nothing the whole entire game. Yeah. Now we have another example of like the Bloxicola. Let me just run past the real killer real quick. I don't know what that pronunciation was, but it's alright. It's all good. And now we have the Slight Skin Potion. So basically, the Slight Skin Potion, upon drinking it, gives you a shield and also gives you the Skin 2 effect, which basically makes you unable to move away, makes you like incredibly slow. As you saw there, you get speed 2 for 2 seconds, which like gives you a huge burst of speed. And yeah, that's about it for Noob. And let's move on to our next character, 007 N7, or N7 for short. So basically, before being Forsaken, N7 used to be the adoptive father of Cool Kid, because his original parents dropped him out because of his red skin condition. Now you see, Cool Kid and 007 N7 had a happy life. They used to play together and they used to have a good time. But that was cut short because Cool Kid was kidnapped and went missing. And 007 and 7 tried to find him, but when he eventually met Cool Kid, it was too late because they met him for a second and Cool Kid had become evil. Anyways, this whole entire Cool Kid 007 and 7 story was actually based on a real old Roblox story, because 007 and 7 was an old famous hacker, and his old account was Cool Kid. Uh, basically, Cool Kid was his account where he did all of the hacking, especially in old Roblox games such as work in a pizza place. But in 2017, Cool Kid and 007 and 7 were banned. Alright, so now let's move on to in-game. So basically, 007 and 7 uses his hacks to either trick the killer or to run away. So basically, 007 and 7 has his first ability called Clone, where he can clone himself. His second ability, Cool UI, which basically he can use to teleport to a certain location, which is highlighted to 007 and 7. And his third ability, which is Inject. Basically, Inject just changes how your clones act, which I will show you when we get to the gameplay examples. Now, unlike Noob, who doesn't really have any abilities to help the team, 007 and 7 does actually have an ability to help his team by using the cursor function with the clone to body block some hits for the survivors. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay example. Alright, now that we're in game, let's go ahead and get into this. So first of all, let me explain what Inject does real quick. So basically, Inject allows you to change how your clones behave with there being 3 different functions. Now I'm about to showcase the cursor function, basically where if you activate your clone, you can drag it towards where your cursor is. Now you can use this to block attacks, however I'm not that good at doing this, so yeah. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, that after 10 seconds your clone naturally dies off. Alright, so yeah, right now I'm just gonna go ahead and just run around and do some generators. Yeah, that's basically what survivalists do. Alright, I'll be right back when something interesting actually does happen. Alright, so now we're using Kojui, which basically teleports you to the location which you can see right there. It's labeled for the spawn point, Now I'm also about to show you what 007 and 7's different clone functions do. First one being the default setting, which is aimless, which in my opinion is the worst one because it just does that. Yeah, it just rams into the wall. It's yeah, it's not believable at all. It just rams into the wall like an NPC, which yeah, for like a clone you wanted to make it believable, but this is not believable at all. Also, we have noise hallucination over here. It's basically a passive ability of a killer. You can basically summon fake versions of himself. Alright, now we have the Pathfind setting. Basically, it just goes towards the labeled area, which is the furthest spawn point for survivors. Alright, now we have our third and final setting, which I showed off a little bit earlier, which is the cursor. Now, to be fair, I'm not that good with the cursor effect, but basically the idea is that you basically drag the clone using your cursor in front of the survivor you're trying to protect, and basically you can just eat hits for them, or your clone can eat hits for them. So yeah, that's what 007 and 7 does. And let's move on to our next character. Alright, so our next character is Veronica. So Veronica, basically before being Forsaken, Veronica was a robotic planker. You can say that as well. She used to be a skateboard instructor also, but over a large span of time, people learned how to skateboard well and didn't really need her help. Now, because of this, Veronica basically had a version of an identity crisis, um, a robotic crisis. I don't know what identity crisis it's called for a robot. Clanker crisis, whatever. It doesn't matter. Basically, she in search of her identity, like what she wants to become now, she unfortunately joined a vandalist group with bad influences on her, which partially is the reason why she got forsaken, because of the vandalism she did later on. Anyways, basically, in game, Veronica uses her skateboard to skate around the map. Basically, she can like fly around the map as well using her skateboard. Also, in my opinion, she is the most versatile survivalist uh, because of her ability to do different things. Like when it comes to helping survivors, she's actually pretty good at it because she can collide with the killers using a function from her skateboard. It's kind of like 007 and 7's inject. Also, she can use another one of her functions to go past killers and getting a speed boost if she does go past killers, or right through killers, I should say. And also another setting where she can basically move around a lot more freely and a lot more flexibly. Alright, so that was Veronica. Let's go ahead and get into the gameplay showcase. Alright, here we are with Veronica. So immediately, as you can see on the top right corner, we have a battery percentage. Basically, this battery percentage will play an important role in one of Veronica's abilities, which consumes this battery. Also, the first ability, which is the graffiti, you can set up graffiti zones, which I will show you what it does later. But now, if you do a generator, you can also get an extra 8% battery charge. Now you might be asking, what does this battery do? Well, simple. You see a Veronica, unlike other characters which can use medkits and eat Elliot pizzas to gain HP, she cannot do any of that. Instead, she has to rely on her battery to heal herself up. This battery has a 75-second cooldown, and also it consumes 2% for every single HP. Alright. Also, by completing a generator task successfully, you get an extra 8%. Now we have the first skate function, which is the bumper. Basically, the bumper allows you to collide with killers, causing you to be able to slightly knock them back. Now this right here isn't as good of an example, but I will show you a better example later on. Also, as you can see, the green area means that only in the green areas I can use my skateboard. Also, as you can see over there, there's actually a penalty for you messing up your skateboard. If you collide with a wall, you'll get slow and spore and get 5 damage dealt to yourself. Also, as you can see right here, I basically can heal myself using my battery, using 2% of my battery for every single HP I recover. Alright, that was pretty quick. Anyways, I'm about to use my bumper function again, and I'm about to actually show you a good example of how the bumper can help the survivors. So we're just gonna wait for this John Doe to make its way over here. Come on, John Doe. There you go. Look at that. Look at that knockback. And now John Doe basically has to waste a lot more of his stamina getting it back to me and getting back to the survivors. Alright, we have John Doe, who I don't know why he didn't hit me, but it's okay. Anyways, as you can see, there's a generator over here, so I can just basically regain extra charge for my battery. Now also, the second function of the skateboard is called phase. As you can see right there, you can basically go for the killer and you can get a big speed boost. Now the final function, which is mobile. Basically mobile lets you move extremely freely. As you can see right here, I usually would not be able to do these move around this freely. Alright, and now that we've made it over here, let me just set up another graffiti area, just like so. And let me do this generator so I can get extra charge for my battery. Alright. Also, let me explain how skating works in more detail, since it's the main part of Veronica. Basically, as you might have caught before, if you collide with a wall, or you're about to collide with a wall, you'll get this, you'll start glowing pink. If you press space while you glow pink, you can basically perform a trick. Tricks basically launch you up into the air, and you can also move around freely in the air. I'm about to show you right now. See, now I can move around a lot freely. I can move around, press space, press space, press space, and yeah, I can do a lot of tricks. Basically, tricks are the main way of getting around the map and the main power of Veronica's movement, because without the tricks, yeah, it would basically be worthless. Veronica's movement would be nothing. Anyways, let's move on to a new section of survivors,
Alright,
which
starting
is
us off with the
the
Sentinels, we have
Sentinels.
Sheletsky. Basically, Sheletsky is the good side
Alright,
of Telemon,
let's
and
get
1x is the bad side of
to showcasing the
Telemon.
Sentinels.
Sheletsky has the fact that he knows 1x though, because he does not want to be associated with 1x. Now, it is not exactly stated how or like why Telemon split himself into two different sides, but I have like a theory, which I'm gonna state because why not? So, I feel like Telemon was an admin, like in actual Roblox he was an admin, so it would make sense for him to be connected with Builderman. And I feel like he would be like this personal bodyguard to Builderman, watching every single one of his moves and making sure that he does not die because he's important to Roblox, I mean Builderman. And because of this, he spent a lot of his time with Builderman and away from others. He was basically incredibly lonely, and he started to feel frustrated, like really mad that why can't he be with others? Why can't he have a normal life? Why does he have this duty to like protect Buildman? And because of this, like he started to feeling this hatred, but like he also like didn't want to lose all of his positive features. So I feel like he kind of did this as like a defense mechanism, like in a way. So basically, he split himself into two different parts, with Sheletsky being his good side and 1x being his bad side. Anyways, now on to some actual facts. Sheletsky uses his sword fight on the high sword to slash killers at close range. Also, Shuletsky has a chicken, which you can eat. Yeah. Also, Shuletsky actually used to be my favorite survivor, and right now he's just like one of my most favorite survivors. So yeah, that's it for Shuletsky. Let's go ahead and move on to the gameplay part. Alright, so we have our first ability over here, which is the slash, where basically Shuletsky pulls out his sword, and if the killer gets hit by the sword, he gets stunned for a few seconds. Also, another ability of mine is chicken. Basically, if I get out of this chase, I can eat this chicken, and I can recover 40 HP. So yeah, let me just like loop the killer and dodge the killer for a little bit, and yeah. Dodging the killer. Alright. So once he leaves me alone, I can just eat my chicken. Come on, leave me alone. Come on, I'm gonna eat my chicken, man. Why can't I be not? Why can't I be a big bag, please? Finally. Alright, that's it. Alright. We have our next character here, which is Two Time. Now you see, Two Time is one of the crazier characters in this game. Basically, Two Time was a part of this cult. He was a part of the spawn cult, which worshipped the respawn symbol and thought if he worshipped the respawn symbol hard enough, he could actually gain a second life. Now you see, over time, Two Time started to get more insane. He started to believe that this lie of him being able to get a second life by worshipping the responsible, like, it's actually possible he can get a second life. But obviously that was a lie. And now, falling into this trap set by the cult, he basically got corrupted. He got consumed by their insane ideals. And in the end, believing that if he sacrificed someone, he could get his second life, and he could please the spawn gods. He sacrificed his best friend Zor. So yeah, insane guy. Honestly, I feel like Two Time can like also be a killer because like he's got the insane backstory, so it would make sense for him to be a killer actually, but whatever, he's a survivor, I guess. So in game, Two Time uses his Soulfire dagger to stab the killer, being able to heal himself in the process. So he can either stab the killer in the front, which is weaker, heals some 10 HP and has weaker effects, or he can do a backstab, which is harder to get, but also actually stuns the killer instead of just slowing them down. And he can also heal 20 HP instead of 10 HP from front stab. Anyways, also Two Time, by stabbing the killer, all can also enter his second life, which is actually provided by the Spectre. Basically, the Spectre is kind of like this overlord who created this whole entire foresakon realm. I see the Spectre actually gave Two Time his second life to feed into his illusions that, yeah, his sacrifice was worth it, and that the spawn cult was right, and all this stuff. So, anyways, uh, you can enter a second life while you max the ablation bar. Basically, you get the ablation bar by stabbing the killer in the front 3 times, or stabbing the killer in the back twice. So you can stab the killer in the front twice and stab the killer once in the back. Now, once you do respawn, however, you will be put into a weaker state. Uh, so yeah, with a couple of stats as well to go along with your respawn. Also, you can choose where you want to respawn, which I will show you later on. Alright, now, with all of that out of the way, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so now that we're in game, we have Two Time over here. So, basically, the way you get your second life, you can actually choose where you get your second life. So, as you can see, we have our third ability ritual, which you can only place down once. You can basically select where you respawn at. Your ritual point is where you're going to respawn.
So yeah. Also, I'm gonna show you what the front step does real quick. Basically, if you stab the killer in the front, like I'm going to do soon, you basically heal 10 HP, and you also give the killer half plus for like 10 seconds, and you also give the killer slowness too for 10 seconds as well. Alright. Anyways, now we're going to move on. And I'm gonna show you what the backstab does soon when I get a backstab. Anyways, never mind that. I'm gonna show you what the second ability, crouch, does. Basically, crouch, you can crouch down and you can hide away from the killer. Now, this can be used, like I used it, to get a medkit off if you're low and if you want to be able to hide away from the killer. Also, you can use it to launch forward. Basically, if you use crouch and then stab, you can basically go forward more. Also, I got myself a backstab. As you can see, my ablation bar is also full. So yeah. Alright. This is just a random clip, by the way. In this clip I will show you like the status. What happens when you get a second life. Alright, cool. Anyways, backstab, it basically stuns the killer for 4 seconds and also gives you 20 HP back. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna try and get my second life, and I'll be back when I get my second life. Alright, here we go. So, yep, got my second life. Now I can just let him kill me, and I'm gonna get my second life soon. There you go. Also, before I get my second life, basically when I get my second life, I'll get speed 2 for 6 seconds, allowing me to run away, and I'll also get weakness 5 for 12 seconds. Basically, weakness 5 just makes me a one-shottable within the first 12 seconds, so you just gotta run away. Alright. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, also, one more thing, which I don't have here, but if you're saved for last, you actually get, and you didn't activate your respawn yet, you actually get 110 HP, and you get speed 2 for 6 seconds, and you don't get the weakness effect. Alright, that's it for 2 time. Let me just go ahead and move on to guest 1337. Alright, here we have guest 1337. So basically, guest 1337 is an alternate version and an alternate timeline of the movie The Last Guest. Basically, The Last Guest is where there is this guest who's the last of the guests, and basically he fights there's evil bacons trying to kill him and eradicate him because they hate guests. Apparently, I don't know why. So in this alternate timeline, uh, where basically guest sacrifices himself to save his friends, and therefore being foresakon. So basically, guest, unlike the other characters who use weapons or guns or something like that, guest says, nah, nah, screw that, bro. I'm too tough for that. So basically, he uses his pure physicality, being able to charge into killers, block killers' attacks, and punch killers if he gets a block successfully, which is a lot harder than you think. He can also parry killers. There's actually 2 different variations of the punch, which is a parry and a punch, which I will show you later. Yeah, I don't know what I'm yapping about. Also, Guest is my favorite character right now. I just like his abilities a lot, and I actually like rage bait a lot of people. There's actually this time where I was in this lobby. I was against this guy who was using Guest 666, which is one of the killers, and I actually rage baited him so hard. Like he wanted me to join his private server. He was like, "Oh, 1v1 me in my private server," and I was like,
cry more, little bro. Easy GG. So, yeah, I really like this guy. Alright, now let's move on to Guess 1337's gameplay. Alright, so there right there was the charge. Basically, charging into the killer gives you resistance 5. Basically, resistance 5 is like invincibility. Also, don't mind me missing my punch. It was kind of late at night, so yeah, I just had some skill issue. It's whatever. Anyway, so basically, if you successfully get a block, you can basically parry, like I did there. Basically, parry goes further and stun the killer for longer as well, for 4 seconds instead of the 2 seconds, which you would get from a regular punch. Alright, now I'm gonna parry. Bam! There we go. Alright, I don't know how I get hit there, but it's okay. So basically, the punch is a weaker version of parry, and basically punch takes 0.8 seconds to come out instead of the 0.6 seconds, which the parry takes to come out. Also, another thing is you get speed 2 for 2 seconds if you successfully block. So yeah. Also right here I just tried to block. I blocked a little too late, so yeah, if you miss your block you will get punished very heavily. So yeah, that's one thing you gotta keep in mind, not to miss your block. Also, that charge, basically charge can knock back the killer slightly. The knockback decreases based on like the distance you're at. Also, you're about to see another parry, a thier. This is exactly what I love, guys. I just love these parries so much. They're just so satisfying to land. There we go. Right here we have another guest. So yeah, I'm also gonna block this guy real quick. Just wait, just watch this real quick. Yeah, hold up. Now this guest is he's gonna try and attack me. I predict him and get parried. Easy GG. So yeah, guest is a really nice character. Actually, I'm just gonna let you watch the gameplay, cause like yeah, why not? Wait a second. Loki? Wait, what if I make an edit of guest with the parries? Wait a second. While the gameplay goes on, what if I make like a guest edit? Yo, I might do that later. Hold up, give me a second. Let me just set that up real quick. Alright, I'll be right back.
There is a key difference between a good friend and a bad one. Good friends do what you ask. They enjoy what you make for them. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, this whole place... I won't stand for ingratitude. No, it's
time for the epic funk. Jump, dum, jump, dum, jump, dum, jump, dum. Oh no! Please don't attack me! I will. Ha 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 ha. No. Sigma. Get blocked, baby, buddy. Sigma. Oh, get dodged again and again and again. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah. I guess this is gonna be it for guest. And yeah. Just gonna finish this game real quick. And yeah. We're gonna move on to Chains, the crippling gambling addict. And with one last final. Alright. It's time for some gambling, kids. Alright, now if you have Chance. So basically, Chance came from a rich family, so he had basically everything. And basically, he got bored, so he decided to start gambling at the family casino. Because, like, why not? Now, you see, basically, he also met this person called iTrapped. Basically, iTrapped used to be this old Roblox hacker. Basically, in this story, iTrapped wanted like the key to the bananas because Chance's family had the key to the bananas, which like held like all of the other people that were banned, and iTrapped wanted to free them for some reason. But like basically, iTrapped was like, you know what? Since he's just such a gambling addict, why don't I just put him into rigged death games and he's gonna accept? But the one thing he did not account for is that Chance's luck is goated. So he survived all of the death games. And eventually Achap just got tired, so he stabbed him. He killed him, cause like, yeah, Chance is too goated. Basically, Chance rage baited I trapped. Alright. So that's probably why his luck is so terrible, cause like whenever I was getting him to level 100, like I kept on getting like bad match after bad match, so yeah, he probably used all his luck while he was not forsaken. Anyways, alright, let's move on. So basically, Chance uses his going to gamble. Now, quick disclaimer before we get into further, like, discussion about this character, further explanation. But remember, kids, do not gamble. Because, like, you're gonna be like this guy. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be homeless. You're gonna be poor. The girls aren't gonna like you because you're poor. And, yeah, you're gonna be homeless. And it's not gonna be fun. You're gonna be like this guy, except for there's gonna be tears running down your face because, oh, life is so terrible if you gamble. So do not gamble, kids. Anyways, so once you get head, hold out. Let me rephrase that real quick. So, you can either get yourself heads, granting you a charge for his abilities, or you can get tails, which gives you permanent weakness. Well, kinda, because you can reset this weakness with one of his abilities. Alright, cool. Yeah. Alright, so also he can
cannot use his gun. Well, sometimes, because like sometimes his gun is gonna either miss or explode. You actually have a higher chance to shoot if you get more charges, so it's recommended to get yourself the maximum of 3 charges. Anyways, so he can also reroll his max HP. Now, initially, Chance starts the game with anywhere between 50 to 80 HP. And also with the reroll, you can get anywhere between 50 or 130 HP. You can either get lower base HP if you're unlucky, or higher base HP if you're unlucky. Also, if you get more charges, you can get yourself extra, um, you can get yourself higher HP. Also, and because of this, Chance is kind of like a very hit or miss. So like he can either be like an incredibly amazing sentinel because like you got like one of the best stuns in the game. Like you can just like snipe the killer from far distance away, or you can like just like go too close to him to stun him as well, or you can be absolutely, or Chance can be absolutely buns depending on your luck and also the amount of charges you can get yourself. Alright, let's move on to some gameplay. Alright, so here we are in game. Let's go ahead and start gambling real quick. Boom. One charge. Oh, weakness. Come on. No! Give me charge. Give me one charge. Yes, finally. Oh my god. Alright. Yes, sir. Alright. You know what time it is? It is time to up the search on the killer. Boom! There you go. Alright, now I'm just gonna professionally walk away. Alright, so over here, I'm just gonna battle real quick. Now let's see how much base HP we get. Oh, damn, I got lucky with that one. I got 128 126 HP, like that's almost the max one, that's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna see you guys later once I shoot the killer again. Alright, so over here, we get the chance gang, you know, we're just gonna be casually gambling away. Let's go, guys. Let's keep on gambling, boys. Yeah, I just wanted to show this clip because it's kind of funny. We got the chance gang. Everybody's gambling. Alright. Okay. I'll see you later. Alright, so that was a case where my gun missed. So yeah, you can see that even with 3 charges you can get unlucky and your gun can miss, but most of the time it's going to shoot. Damn. Alright. I got low, bro. Alright. It's time for another shot. Never mind, because I missed. Also, this game's gonna be a good example of what happens when you get lots of weakness. As you can see, I don't have the highest of base HPs, so yeah. I'm incredibly vulnerable right now. I got like weakness 8 right now. Yeah. I got cooked. Like, really cooked. Alrighty. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you a little bit more chance gameplay, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this extra little bit of chance gameplay and this extra little bit of me shooting the killer. Boom! Alright, I'll let you watch now. Alright, time to shoot him. That was low-key the craziest assist ever, like, bro. Shout out to that guy over there, cause like, damn, bro. He stalled the killer so I can shoot him. That's a crazy combo. Alright, back to chance gameplay. Alright. Time for a 360. Bam! That was tough, bro. Yes, sir. Alright, anyways, that is enough chance gameplay. Now it's time for us to move on to supports. Alright. Let's go. Let's get into supports. Alright, so starting us off with the support characters, we have Elliot. Basically, Elliot, before being Forsaken, he used to be a happy worker at Builder Brothers Pizza before Kulki came in and destroyed the whole entire place. And after that, Elliot got Forsaken. Now in Forsaken, Elliot serves as a support. Basically, Elliot can throw pizza to heal survivors, and also, as a throwing pizza, he gets a rush hour ability where he can just run away from the killer. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so here we are in game. We have our pizza ability ready. And there's a guest who... Oh, that guy's also low, but there's a guest who is low on HP, so I can just throw him his pizza. And I can heal him. Just like that. Also, another thing about the pizza which I forgot to mention in the slides is that the more generators you complete, for each generator task you complete, you get 5% extra healing. So I did a couple of extra generators, and as you can see, the pizza healed a lot more. Also, for my second ability, Rush Hour, I can basically use it and gain a large burst of speed. Just like so. And it lasts for 3 seconds. Basically, I got speed free for 3 seconds, which is the most amount of speed that any character gets in the game. Alright, so yeah, that's it for Elliot. Yeah, Elliot's an incredibly simple support character. There's not much in depth things about him, so yeah. Let's move on to Builderman. Alright, Builderman. So basically, not much is known about Builderman, other than the fact that he's based off the Builderman, which basically Builderman is the CEO of Roblox and still is. So basically Builderman uses his engineering skills to set up sentries which can slow down the killers within a certain radius, and dispensers which can heal survivors. Yeah, he's also an incredibly simple support. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm gonna set up a sentry. It takes about 6 seconds to set up your sentry, and this way, as you see in this red area, if the killer walks in this red area, they're gonna get slowness 2 every single time they get shot. And this Builderman sentry has a fire rate of 0.1, so yeah, this sentry has some insane slowing potential. We also have the dispenser, which is less OP, but as you can see in this green area, if anybody walks in this green area, they can heal 1 HP per second. So yeah, basically, this is what you do as Builderman. You basically just set up a bunch of sentries, and yeah,
Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead. Alright, my sentry was destroyed, so let me just go ahead and place myself another one real quick. Also, another thing is, if you place your sentries on high ground, it's usually a lot better, because then the killer has to go out of their way and destroy your sentry which is on the high ground, which is like really good. So that's why you see me placing my sentries on high ground where the killer has to go out of their way to catch up with the sentry line to destroy it. Alright, so yeah, that was Builderman. Yet another simple support. I mean, to be fair, a lot of supports are pretty simple. They're not that complicated, but with that, let's go ahead and move on to Duzakar. Alright, Duzakar. So basically, Duzakar, before being Forsaken, now, you see, Duzakar was an incredibly powerful Archmage. He was actually so strong, in fact, that the Spectre could not get him Forsaken through natural means. Basically, the only reason why the Duzakar is Forsaken in the first place because he tried sacrificing himself to try and save Shaletsky after he unfortunately died in an ambush. Because they were ambushed by 1X and Shaletsky died, and basically Duzakar tried sacrificing his soul to save Shaletsky, but it didn't work, so now he is in Forsaken. Basically, Duzakar uses his powerful magic, such as his shields and plasma beam. His shield gives killers damage reduction, and his plasma beam also gives slowness to the killer. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, so as you can see, I have zapped the killer. So basically, zapping a killer gives him slowness 4 seconds. Slowness 2 is about like, I would say 70% slowness because like killers can barely catch up to you if you give them slowness 2. So yeah, this plasma beam is like incredibly OP in my opinion because like it just gives like yourself or the survivor that's running away from the killer so much distance. So yeah. Alright, just gonna use plasma shielding this guy. Oh cool, he gave me a medkit. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump down. I don't know what that cool kid left me, but I'm grateful for that. So yeah. As I heal up, yeah, that's about what Duzakar does. Yeah, Duzakar is a mage who just uses these spells to help the team. Yeah, that's about it. Alright, cool. Now it's time to move on to Tav, the final support, and then we can move on to the killers. Alright, now we have Tav. Basically, Tav used to be a demolitionist who used to go around exploiting different experiences because they thought they were bad for Robloxia. So he used to uh, explode like even innocent like Robloxians and innocent Robloxian experiences. And also, he was kind of insane, and he also believed that he was Builderman's second in command, even though Builderman has zero clue who he is, which is kind of tragic. So all of this explosion, all of this chaos, he did this for Builderman. But you see, eventually people started to protest against this, and they were like, yo, stop exploding things, that is not cool. So basically, Taff basically locked herself in her house to avoid the protesters and also set traps. Now, and then later on he got Forsaken. Now it isn't exactly mentioned how he got Forsaken, but I feel like he actually walked into one of his traps because he was too paranoid and he just exploded and got sent to Forsaken.
Anyways, in Forsaken, Taff carries his demolition skills around, and he places traps that disorients the killers and or slows them down. Alright, so basically, as Taff, what you want to do is you want to set up Taff nests. Basically, these are areas where you place a large majority of your traps. So, first of all, we have the tripwires. Basically, tripwires. Alright, never mind, I guess we're gonna set up the tripwires later. Because the killer's gonna attack us now. Alright, let me just dodge the killer real quick. Alright, dodging the killer in the gameplay. Alright. I don't know why that guy charged him towards me. Anyways, the tripwire. Basically, you can set up a tripwire which slows down the killer for 4 seconds, gives them slowness 2, and also highlights them for 8 seconds. Also, we have the subspace straight line, which if it hits you, gives you subspace free for 5 seconds, and basically gives you helpless for 5 seconds, which basically makes you unable to use your abilities. Also, another thing is that you should be worried about is that 1x can destroy your, like any killer can destroy your traps, so you should try and place them more carefully. Alright. Anyways, you're about to soon see an example of the subspace treatment. Also, don't mind my mouse movement. I was recording this somewhere else, so yeah. My gameplay's kind of bad, especially my mouse movement. It's all slow. It pains me to see. Anyways, let me set up a strip mine. Alright. And now I'm just gonna loop back around to the trap. Now as Tap, you should always try and play around your traps because they're like basically the only way you can survive without your teammates helping. Also, another important thing is that if you're close to the explosion when it happens, and when the killer triggers the explosion, you will also get affected by it. So as you see, the effects basically subspace free, basically just like messes up your camera and things like that. Also right here, traps, you can also use the traps to like stall the killer because the killers will want to destroy the traps. So you can just use it as a way to like stall. So yeah, stall time. Alright. And yeah. That's about it for TAF. Yeah, not gonna lie, all of the supports are kinda simple to like understand. They are a lot harder to play though. I will promise you it is really hard to play these supports. And if I had more energy I would express how difficult it is to play these guys. But yeah, it's like almost 11 p.m. I don't know why I'm still up. Alright, whatever, it's fine. It was personal ranting aside. Yeah, this is what Taft does. And now let's move on to the killers. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I'm talking about the killers. Yeah. Alright, here we are at the killers. So now, for the killers, I decided to switch it up. And now, instead of me listing also their abilities and who they are and what they do in game, I will now instead list what they do in game and their abilities while in gameplay. While in game. So like kind of like live commentary or like gameplay commentary if you can think of it. Alright, so I'm just gonna in this I'm just gonna tell what the killer is and like their backstory. Now also I will give a warning to my younger audience because I am aware that maybe younger people are watching this, so
most of these killer lore is some of the killer lore is pretty dark. So uh if you don't want to hear that, then go ahead and skip past this part or these parts. Now, of course, I will try and like not phrase it as brutally, but there's only so much I can do. Anyways, let's move on. Alright, so basically, Slasher used to be this bacon who served in a war, most likely the same war as Guest 1337 served. However, after the Bacons lost the war and the Guests won, he was taken as a prisoner of war. There, they started experimenting on him, most likely with biological enhancements, different drugs, all these kind of things. Now, because of this, he grew very irritated. He grew incredibly violent because, well, if you know anything about human experimentation, you know how it goes. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the details, but anyways, then afterwards he found the Necrobloxian. Now see, the Necrobloxian is this possessive book which corrupts people's minds and gives them supernatural abilities. Now, the main thing of it, however, is mainly the mind possessing, because it basically like removes all of the kindness from people and makes them into incredibly violent monsters who have absolutely no redeeming qualities at all and cannot feel bad for anyone else. Now, because of this, because of the book, the slasher got corrupted by it. And then, after getting corrupted and using the supernatural powers of the Necrobloxian, he killed everyone at the facility, allowing him to finally escape the facility and the experiments. But unfortunately for him, he surely got forsaken afterwards. It is unknown why he got forsaken, um, but maybe it's something to do with the Necrobloxian and him killing everyone at the facility. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on to the gameplay. Alrighty, here we are with Slasher. Anyways, Slasher is a melee only character. That means Slasher can only really target one survivor at a time, so unlike other killers where they can just relatively easily spread out damage, Slasher needs to focus on one target and one target only because he cannot deal with multiple targets. Also, that right there was my first ability, Gashing Wound. Basically, Gashing Wound, if you hit a survivor, it does 50 damage. It is most commonly used as a punish move. Basically, punish move refers to when killers have these moves that like they can use to punish if a sentinel misses a stun. Anyways, we have Behead over here. Behead basically just disables the abilities of any survivors for 11 seconds. And yeah, easy kill. Also, Behead does 20 damage. Also, if you don't land the Behead, it does slow you down. So as you can see, I got slowness, but that doesn't really matter. Also, this guy just stood still for some reason. I guess he just wants to die. I mean, to be fair, I don't really ban him because he is already dead. Even if he tried to run away, he is just dead. Alright, I know he's got him. I don't know what those maneuvers were. They did not help him at all. Also, alright, now we're just gonna hunt down the 2-time. And yes, we are gonna get the 2-time first because I hate 2-times. Those guys are so annoying. And yeah, it is my sole duty to get rid of every single one of these 2-times. Oh. Alright, looks like I missed a Gashing Wound. Looks like I suck at the game. It's fine. Alright, Behead, so he can't use any abilities. Alright. As you can see, we have Raging Pace over here, which basically just forces me into this walking state, which is actually like slightly faster than the normal walk speed, but it also helps me regain stamina. Also, as you can see earlier, basically when you use the M1 while enraged, he actually launched forward a bit, so that's also something pretty cool. Also, another thing is while you're enraged, you do actually do extra damage, which is a neat little bonus. As you can see, I would have done 50, now I did an extra 20 damage with the Gashing Boon. Also, the Shaletsky just completely gave up, which, to be fair, I completely understand, because, yeah, no, I probably would also give up, because, like, Slasher, in my opinion, even though I know that you're supposed to target with this guy, I know how annoying it is to get just, like, chased down for, like, 1 minute, or, like, until you die, so, yeah. I say I was gonna kill the Shaletsky, but you know what? I was like, I just decided to let him live. Just cause. Plus, I mean, there are like 007 and 7, and Elliot, there's a lot more annoying characters here. Also, there is the enraged damage boost coming in play. And also, there's also the thing I was talking about punishing. So, basically, punishing doesn't necessarily have to be after Sentinel misses a stun. It can also be if people are acting stupid, like this 007 and 7 who decided to teleport in front of me, even though I was up in her face. I don't know. She thought she was slick. She thought I wouldn't notice, but I see everything. So yeah, that's a Shaletsky. I'm just gonna let him live. Just gonna kill him later. Alright, here we have the other Shaletsky. I'm gonna call him the noob Shaletsky, cause yeah, he sucks at the game. Alright. Just gonna run him down. Just gonna run him down like he owns me taxes. Also, I saw this 2-time trying to sneak up on me, so gashing wound, buddy. Also, so yeah. Now you see, since I really hate 2-times, I just decided to target this guy instead, cause yeah, I'm not trying to get backstabbed, and I'm not trying to deal with a guy who can respawn. No, not at all. Alright, let's see where these guys are. Also, another thing is, if your stamina bar is draining, that means survivors are nearby within like 100 touch or so. Here's the Shaletsky. Yeah, he's to be fair, I'm not really worried about the Shaletsky. The only reason I really killed him is for a quick drop, because I don't know, I just wanted to flex and have extra time, so yeah, easy. And yeah, with a gashing wound, I finish him off. Alright, now we have 2 minutes to kill the Olivia Shaletsky. So I just go after her next, because one thing is that Elliot is completely useless in LMS, which is basically like where you have a 1v1 against the killer, or it's only one survivor left and one killer left. Also, I will say that the Shaletsky did put up a relatively decent fight. He actually stunned me twice, which yeah, I mean, yeah, that was pretty impressive, but yeah, I had 2 minutes on the clock, so there wasn't anything she could do, or he could do, really. Actually, that looks like a female skin, now that I look at it. Ah, whatever. Oh yeah, also I just used Raging Face over there, so like, the slowness too wouldn't affect me that much. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a niche little thing, but like, you can use the Raging Face to kind of like, not really get affected by slowness that much, which is incredibly niche. I don't really use it that often, nor should you. And with a Behead, I just kill her. Also, another nice thing about Behead is a Behead basically skips the kill animation, so I can just instantly chase after this Elliot. And yeah, just using the Raging Face, and yeah, now I definitely have a stamina advantage over her, and it's an easy GG from here. Yep, easy GG. I win. Alright, let's move on to Cool Kid now. Alright, here we have Cool Kid. And I say Cool Kid was an innocent child at first. Now, but one day, he got found by the Spectre. Now, you see, the Spectre
being the evil, manipulative person he is, and seeing the innocence of Cool Kid and his naive personality, basically he manipulated him to to use the power of the cold UI for malicious purposes, such as killing people and burning things down. Now, see, the cold UI is an incredibly deadly exploit, which like allows for like mass murder. When I mean like mass murder, I mean like genocide. Like you can like burn whole entire buildings down. You can kill multiple people at a time. Like it is incredibly insane. But so basically, it was gifted to him by 007 which I don't know why. Like you have this 10-year-old little kid, right? Now, see, even if I did have to, like, why? So why would you give him this deadly exploit? Like, in a way, as much as I feel bad for 007, he low-key deserved it. Cause why? So why would you give this deadly exploit, like software to a little child? Whatever. Anyways, so basically, cool kid. However, later on, cool kid actually started to realize that he's been causing all this chaos and pain to people, that he's been killing them. Uh, But like, he's been so used to killing people, like he's just like addicted to killing people, and like he cannot stop killing people. Even if he were to like tell him, like talk to himself in his mind, he would want to stop, but his body is just so used to killing people that he cannot stop. He will just keep killing over and over again. Alright, here we are with Cool Kid. Basically, we have the minions here. Basically, the minions will target the nearest survivor, and they will also, if they do manage to hit a survivor, they will deal 10 initial damage and 10 fire damage. So yeah, they've also give slowness to for the survivor for like 10 seconds. Also, alright, just quick drop that guy real quick. Yep, there you go. The salute is now slowed, so he should be an easy kill for me. It also highlights the relocation, which, I mean, it is pretty cool, but yeah, it's not, it is kind of important. It reminds me of Shaletsky. He decides to sit there like a noob. I don't know how that slash landed, but whatever. Alright. I don't know why this Shaletsky just ran towards me, but alright, it's whatever. Alright, this Shaletsky should be cooked soon because he is close. However, he does do a pretty good job at dodging my M1s, but yeah. The only real way to survive against Cool Kid, in my opinion, is just to like stay far away from him. Because if you're close, like he can do some insane M1 chains on him. Like his M1s are instant. I don't know why his M1s are the second strongest in the game. Like literally, they do 26 damage. Well, 27 if you round it. Like, and with that, Shaletsky is dead. Like, I genuinely do not know what the point of giving like Cool Kid the second strongest M1 in the game is. Like, I just like, it's too OP. Like, I mean, I can just, even though I messed up, like, I can just use my minions. Like, even though I messed up, like this noob guy, like I'm about to show you, like later on, like he's gonna get absolutely demolished by my M1s. Like I'm about to land like an insane, like nasty like M1 combo on him. Like he's gonna get cooked. Also, guest being useful and missing his charge. And right now we have the most. If you have the average sentinel in a public lobby, basically sitting back and doing absolutely nothing, even if the point of a sentinel is still the team. Also, yeah. Oh my god, that is just disgusting. Like, absolutely free-shotted. Also, this Shaletsky decided to use his slash, even though I was invincible, which even though I did iframes and
Yeah, this guy is close to me. He's cooked. Yeah. 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Yeah, no, he's cooked. This is exactly why I love playing Cooker. Like, his M1s are just so branded. Like, if you get close to it, this guy, yeah, you're cooked. This is exactly why I told you to stay away from this guy in the intro, cause as a survivor, cause yeah, no, if you get close to him, you're cooked. And with that, that's an easy GG. All right. Let's move on to the second game. Right, demolish even more people using Cool Kid. Now this is a lot more of a stacked lobby this time, so I'm gonna have a little bit more troubles. Also, this game is gonna be really close. You'll see that in the end, but still, I'll be able to win. Also, I don't know how to land in that corrupt nature, but that's cool. As you can see, because of the it was slowed down, I was able to catch up to him. I don't know why I used that box speed override. I should have just ran him down. Also, right, and now I'm just gonna continue chasing that alley because honestly, as a killer, you definitely want to kill the supports first, because they're like incredibly annoying to deal with. Also, another use case of box speed override, you can use it to also gain distance without having to sacrifice your stamina. You don't really regain stamina while using box speed override, but you can just like use it to get closer to survivors. Also, you can use it to ambush survivors like this. And now I already dealt like 45 damage to this guy. This Elliot. Yeah, no, this Elliot is absolutely cooked. He's not gonna survive. Yep. 1-on-1. Just gonna summon my minions so I can track the Elliot down and corner him hopefully with the minions. Oh, never mind. I can just kill him with my brick. Oh, I don't know how that hit. I'm pretty sure yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It looks like my minions attacked someone, so they found someone, so that's pretty cool. Also, you can use Elliot's minions as a way to like no, walk speed override as a way to catch up to survivors like I did over there. I don't know what I'm yapping about. You know what? Yeah, this guy's dead. Just gonna kill him real quick. Alright. Sniped. Oh, I don't know why he decided to block there. Kinda stupid. And now that I'm close to this guy, he's cooked. He can't run away. Yep. Dead. And I'm just gonna go ahead and kill the 2-time if he does shoot up. Oh, that's it. Oh my god. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna kill you, bro. I hate 2-times, so he's dead. Also, I don't know why you're crouching. I guess you just wanna die. Alright, cool. I appreciate giving me a free kill. I appreciate the extra time. Alright. Oh yeah, also, another thing you can do with walk speed override that's pretty cool is that you can actually bounce off of walls. Not like bounce off, but you can like slide along walls to hit survivors at an angle and also gain extra distance. That is the main benefit of sliding off of walls using Cool Kid. Walk speed override. Also, another thing is, walk speed override is like disgustingly overpowered because like, you can already see how powerful it is, and it only has a 17-second cooldown. So like it's like so overpowered. I don't know why it has only a 17-second cooldown. Like this ability is just way to have a 17-second cooldown. Right, anyways, just gonna land a couple of hits on this roulette key. Alright, let me try and walk speed override this guy. Alright, oh, never mind. Oh damn, holy airball, bro. You could say it was an airball, but like a massive fumble. But this Letsky just, oh my god, this Letsky did an even bigger fumble. Like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Alright, just gonna hit this Letsky one more time. He should be dead now. Oh, alright, that was actually a pretty nice time, bro. Gotta give it to the guest, you know. And also, you gotta keep in mind, this is an older version, so landing those parries was a lot harder because the hitbox for the block was a lot smaller. I remember actually. Oh, alright. I thought I was about to lose, but I guess not. Cool, only have 17 seconds left. That was a crazy clutch, like. And also, that's another good thing about the, for example, the walk speed override is, because it has DOT, like, the fire DOT actually kills people, unlike other DOTs which use them at 1 HP. I would have still had to get a hit in there, but the fire, nah, it just kills people if they're low enough, so yeah. Goated ability and way too good. Anyways, let me just summon my menus and kill this guy real quick. Anyways, yeah. That's gonna be it. And, let me just take this time to move on to John Doe. Alright, let's go. Let's go to John Doe now. Alrighty, so here is John Doe. Basically, John Doe used to live a happy, innocent life with Jane Doe, but now he has unfortunately been corrupted. It is unsure how he got corrupted, but he just got corrupted. So now basically he lives as a killing machine, devoid of all of his emotions, and he just kills everything and everybody. But sometimes he does get the urge to resist the corruption a little bit when he sees Jane Doe, his former wife, but in the end, the corruption is unfortunately just stronger. So he cannot do anything. He cannot fight the corruption, and he's forced to be a killing machine. Alright, so that is John Doe. Let's move on to his gameplay. Yeah. Alright, here we are as scary John Doe. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why I decided to laugh like that, but it's okay. Anyways, so basically, as you can see, we're first ability, which is digital flipping. Basically, if the server steps in this, they get slowness 2 for 10 seconds, and I got speed 1 for 10 seconds, so they're cloaked. And they also get damage, 20 damage, but you know what, it's not that deep. Also, we have error 404, which basically just allows me to highlight survivors. Alright, now we have spikes. Basically, spikes you can just like... spikes you can use as a blockade, so you can use it to trap survivors, or you can also use it to deal damage. Also, I got speed, so yeah, just gonna... 90, what? How much weakness does this chance have? That's crazy. Damn. But yeah, also I'm just gonna tell you that spikes do not usually do 48 damage. They usually do 12 damage each hit. So yeah. Also, I don't know where bro, where's this 2-time running to? Nobody, you're not running away, you got ripped apart, bro. Damn, that's crazy, bro. I don't know why John Doe ripped him apart like that, like, bro. What did 2-time do? Actually, never mind, I hate 2-time as well. I grew with John Doe. Oh yeah, also, this is what John Doe's really good at, is like creating like pseudo traps. So yeah, you can like trap survivors. Now, you might not be able to kill them, but you will definitely like put them in an uncomfortable situation. And this basically you will force them to use a lot of their stamina to run out of the traps, and also get a couple of hits on them. So as you can see right there, because he had low stamina, he couldn't really run that much. So I could just like hit him and get like roughly 24 damage. But yeah, also another thing is John Doe's spikes can hit the same target 4 times. So yeah, you can deal a total of 40 damage. Also, what? Damn, that's crazy. How the hell am I already in LMS? That's... wow. I was not expecting to get into LMS this quick. No, I don't know what I was doing with those spikes, but yeah, I'm just gonna rush down this 2-time. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. Come on, 2-time, you can't run from me. You can't run from me, I'm gonna kill you, bro. 1 hit. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, alright. Now it's time to trap this guy. Now it's time to trap 2-time, and with 1 final hit, yeah. He's cooked. John Doe's cooking. Also, damn, bro, why did bro stab my character like that? What did I do? That's crazy. Anyways. Oh yeah, also, I recorded this gameplay, like this lobby gameplay, because this guy has like serious trauma from John Doe. Like, I don't know what happened to this guy. Like, I don't know why he hates John Doe so much. Like, that's crazy, but I thought it was kind of funny, so I just put it in here. Alright. Okay, now it's time for my second John Doe game. Now, to be fair, I already explained what John Doe does, but you know what? Yeah, why not? Why not have a second John Doe game, bro? Why not? Also, do not mind the OBS popping up. Alright, so yeah. Alright, now I'm just gonna stop my foot and trap this place. Yeah, I'm just gonna trap all of these places. The survivors are gonna be super happy, I can tell. Alright, also got an early hit. Oh, damn, bro, unlucky. Unlucky Chance. He's gonna explode. Yeah, no, Chance is cooked. Yeah, that's why Chance Loki kinda sucks, cause like, his gun can explode, and as you saw earlier, you can do like 95 damage to him, cause he has insane amounts of weakness, so yeah. Alright, boom. Damn! Holy, bro, this is not that deep, my guy, bro. It's a video game. Nah, bro's treating it like he's actually dying. Damn, bro. Forsaken cannot be this serious, bro. It cannot be. Oh yeah, also tracing the guy with John Doe PTSD, so yeah. Giving this guy John Doe PTSD, let's go. I'm just gonna trap him. What? How did he not get hit? Oh, well, lucky him. Yeah, I was actually really lucky that there was a couple of pixels which he could just barely go by the digital footprint. But yeah, he should be cooked now. Alright, as you oh yeah, also, that was crazy though, like, digital footprint, like, even if it doesn't, actually, like, they don't step in it, it also is really good at, like, mind, like, kind of, like, tricking them, or, like, making them hesitate. As you can see, or as you could have seen, they actually took a step backwards, which basically, which basically allows him to kill. Yeah, I could basically kill him. So basically, by putting psychological pressure with the digital footprint, you can also like kill them more easily. Yeah, I don't know what I'm yapping about. I'm just yapping about whatever at this point. But you know what, it's my video, so you can't stop me. Well, actually, you can, if it's inappropriate for school, but you know what? Yeah, it's fine. Also, damn, bro. Why did people step in my digital footprint? Why? Damn. I mean, whatever. I'm not complaining. That's free damage and free speed. So, yeah. Veronica's gonna be cooked soon. So let's look at the video game. That can also work. Come on. I'm gonna get this guy. Alright. Dang. Alright, free hit. Yeah, no, it's gonna get cooked soon enough. Alright, let me just try and land one hit. Alright, there you go. Now that I got the speed, I can just catch up to him and kill him. Alright, there we go. And BAM! Also, I do not know why. Maybe John Doe has been taking sick, like, watching too much WWE, cause like, damn, bro. Nah, that SmackDown was crazy though. John Doe can low-key be in the WWE, bro, with that crazy ass SmackDown. Crazy, yeah, crazy SmackDown, boom. Also, you did not hear what I said before. Yeah. Okay, anyways, Veronica. Yeah, I know she's cooked. Well, if I can find her. No, there she is. You think you can run? I will catch up to you. I will get you, Veronica. You cannot run. The machine, it will kill you. Damn. I was way too emo. Alright, boom. Alright, I just killed this guy real quick. Alright. So yeah, that was John Doe. Let's go ahead and move on to Nolly. We're gonna move on to Nolly. Alright, let's go. Alright, here we are with Nolly. So basically, Nolly used to be this character with a sick sense of entertainment. He basically used to run around killing everybody and like tricking them cause he thought it was entertaining. He thought it was funny seeing people suffer, which yeah, no, bro's a massive psychopath. Anyways, but his reign was actually cut short because he touched the Void Crown, which is a super corrosive crown which basically causes people's bodies to rot away. Now, Nolly's become half psychopath, half rotted away skeleton. Now, ever since he's been forsaken, Nolly actually appreciates what the Spectre does and likes the haunted idea of Forsaken. And because of this, he's actually super eager to be a Forsaken and to be alongside the other killers. He also still carries his sense of entertainment, killing survivors for the sake of his show. Alright, here we are. Let's go ahead and move on. So basically, we have Nolly in game. Now you see, actually, Nolly has two passives. His first passive is Freak Generators, which help him apply his hallucination passive. So basically, Fake Generators can also spawn around the map. There's a maximum of 3 of them. And Nolly's second ability, or passive I should say, is Hallucination. So basically, Hallucination has 3 different stages. Stage 1, it just highlights where the survivor is. Stage 2, it makes the survivor see fake Elliot pizzas and fake Bill around dispensers, which obviously they don't do anything. And stage 3, fake Nolly goes after them. So anyways, now that I've explained that, let's move on to Nolly's abilities. Now we have Nolly's M1 ability, which is just a simple swing. It does 25 damage, and it's actually relatively quick. Now we have second ability, Nova. Now you see, Nova is a projectile, which if it hits a survivor, it does 15 damage and drags them back a little bit. It's really good for wasting a survivor stamina and giving you the stamina advantage. Also, another thing that I should have done there is that you can actually explode Nova early, so you can get a little bit of extra damage. Not like extra damage, but you can cause the explosion to happen earlier with a smaller hitbox. So as you can see, with one final Nova, drag them back and kill them. Now, another ability that you could see there is Void Rush. Basically, with the power of Void Rush, you can rush at basically Void Rush is a movement based ability which you can basically, there's 2 stages. One stage where you dash into the survivor and another stage where you slam into them. So basically, when you first hit them, you slam into the survivor, not dash into the survivor. Yeah, I don't know what I'm yapping about. Anyways, basically when you dash into them, it does 10 damage, and for the second stage, if you slam into them, basically if you re-hit them again, because if you hit the survivor once, it does reset the ability, it does reset the Void Rush, allowing you to slam into them, dealing extra damage. Alright, anyways, let's move on to this game over here. Alright, so yeah, that's basically Nolly. I didn't really manage to get good games with him, so yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with that. Alright, anyways, I will now talk about my favorite killer, 1x. Alright, let's move on to 1x. Okay, I'll see you guys when I'm talking about 1x. Alrighty, next up we have 1x. So basically, 1x is the manifestation of Telemon's hatred, his fear, his doubts, also his negativity. Basically,
he's just this big fat blob of negativity. Now, unlike other killers who have, I don't know, tragic backstories or something like that, yeah, Lennox doesn't have any of that. He's just really mad, and he just wants to kill people. Yeah. So, especially Sheletsky. Basically, Sheletsky is his #1 op. He like really hates this guy. So as you can see, we have this very angry looking gray dude. That's how much he hates Sheletsky, and it is this other angry face which just like also represents how much he hates everyone else. Now, instead of me doing like a gameplay commentary video thing, I'm actually going to do Alright, now we have guest 6666. So basically, guest 6666 used to be an average Robloxian who was actually kind of isolated because of his name, guest 6666, which people thought because of his name, there would be a lot of misfortune if they befriended him, and like bad things would happen because obviously 6666 is like the devil's number or something like that. But one Robloxian who didn't really care about that was Noob. And basically, Guess 666 and Noob became friends. Now, in the firstly, their relationship was pretty good. They were just chilling. But basically, Guess 666 developed a toxic tendency to always want to win no matter what. So, like, it could be something serious, like, I don't know, like a dodgeball game or something super unserious as, I don't know, candy corn eating 6-7 competition or whatever. I don't know, man. But like basically he wanted to win all the time. But somehow Noob was better than him, so he couldn't win most of the time. And because he was absolutely tired and sick of losing to Noob, basically he started injecting himself with scripts, which basically is the equivalent of IRL drugs. Now, which obviously gave him more power, but at the cost of corrupting him himself and making him dependent on these drugs. I don't know why it says her. Jesus Christ, guess 666 is not transgender. What am I doing? Anyways, basically, he became a drug addict. Yeah, so you see those homeless people snorting crack on the side of the streets? Yeah, that was basically who he became, but uh, more terrifying and scary. So basically, Guess 666 now is in Forsaken is a power hungry beast who wants nothing more than to gain more and more power. Alright, let's move on to the gameplay. Alright, here we have unique character interactions and LMSs. So basically, in Forsaken, whenever you are the last survivor standing and against the killer, uh, an LMS will start. I see there is different LMS themes. There is the base LMS theme, which is called Eternal Hope, Eternal Fight, which is the second version more specifically. And also, if you have different characters or different survivors kind of like mashed together, you get these unique LMSs or unique character interactions. So, for example, we have 1x versus Shaletsky with the creation of hatred, and 007 and 7 with 007 and 7, which is versus Cool Kid. Yeah. Then we also have Perpetuity, which is a new one. It's basically a collaboration from Forsaken and Die of Death. Basically, Die of Death is another asymmetrical horror game like Forsaken. Now, where like basically if you use like first the Die of Death skins, you get a unique character interaction. Now, also for this pretty easy interactions, there's actually a lot of them. There's like I think like 10 of them ish, like actually currently, and there's like many more which are like theories, and not really theories, but like fan ideas. So there's like tens, like tens of like hundreds, which I do not have time to cover. So I will be taking 4. So I'll be taking the space LMS, I'll be taking the plead, creation of hatred, and perpetuity. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Now, also, before we get into it, I'm gonna go ahead and first of all talk about the context behind this LMS and like who's it between, and then and like other things like that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you the gameplay of the LMS itself. Alright, first up we have the base LMS. This is called Eternal Hope and Eternal Fight V2. Also in brackets I will be putting in the names of these music videos and LMS themes if you are interested. So basically, this is the base theme that plays when it's just one random character, one random survivor, which is one versus one random killer. so like there's no like unique survivors or skins being used. This theme is basically meant to represent a intense 1v1 between you and the killer, or the survivor, depending on which side you're playing on. Alright, let's look at the LMS theme now. Alright, okay, so basically you have perpetuity. Basically, this LMS takes place when somebody is using a dive death killer skin and faces against someone using a dive death survivor skin. Basically, this LMS is a result of a collaboration where foresakon implemented dive death skins, and basically this LMS is kind of like to go along with the skins. It has been released a little bit later than the skins, but it was meant to like kind of just polish out this whole entire collaboration. As you can see here, over here we have the collaboration skins that Forsaken did, and we have the killer skins and the survivor skins as well. Now, Dive Dev has actually also implemented some skins. It's just I couldn't fit it on this slide. Anyways, enough yapping, and let's go ahead and get into the LMS. Now we have Cool Kid vs 007 and 7, which is Plead. So basically, this is the theme when that plays when Cool Kid and 007 and 7 are the last two characters left alive. So basically, Plead is about 007 and 7 pleading for Cool Kid to stop his massacre. Now, Plead is also kind of like a metaphor. Well, not really a metaphor, kind of like a visual like symbolization of 007 and 7's true powerlessness. 007 and 7 is just bound to his words, praying that Cool Kid will listen. Other than that, he can't do much. The only thing he can really do is run. While reminiscing about the peaceful past he had with Cool Kid, which is now gone. Also, 007 and 7 sometimes turns to this past to think back if he did something wrong, if there was anything he did that made Cool Kid like this. Anyways, now, after all this time, 007 and 7 is just powerless, and he can only hope and pray that Cool Kid will listen to his words and stop. Anyways, let's move on to the gameplay. Uh, alright. Now we have Shaletsky vs 1X, Creation of Hatred. Creation of Hatred is my favorite LMS, um, featuring two of my favorite characters, 1X being my favorite killer, and Shaletsky being basically my favorite survivor. Now, Creation of Hatred basically symbolizes this classic good versus evil battle. So with Shaletsky being the representative for your
like positivity, kindness, and all that, and 1x being the representation of pure hatred. So, yeah. Now, this can also kind of be seen as like a clash of ideals. I mean, it could be seen that way, with Filetsky's ideals of positivity versus 1x's ideals of just negativity. But in a game, it's more leaning towards this battle, this like battle between good versus evil. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this LMS because this LMS was definitely 100% one of my favorite LMSs to record and to edit. Without a further ado, let's get into it, and I hope you guys enjoyed the next part. Alright. Can you guys hear me? Alright, well, this was the whole entire video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys have an amazing day. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed like what I did. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye. Oh, damn, you. I hope that Shandelsky guy from before was fine. Where is that guy? I actually wonder. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Hi. Oh, he can't hear me. That's right. Hi. Come on. Alright. Come on, respond to me. Yeah, but guy. Oh, damn. Okay, Tekka. Alright. Okay, I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah. You can't really hear you because you're not important at all, but that's okay. I got this. Since I got access to the chat, it's fine. Alright, alright. Well, damn. Looks like we're done, huh? Alright. Well, I'm glad that Choletsky guy won. And, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me a long time to make this, so I hope my effort was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Um, if you guys like this video, then consider liking and subscribing, and also maybe drop a comment or two about something. Just don't make it about terrorism, okay? Alright. Well, anyways, I hope you guys will have an amazing day. Alright. See you later, guys. I'm out.